Today is October 4th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today at the Big Book, we're going to continue our journey through Chapter 6 into action. We'll be reading page 82. Out of the 12 and 12, we'll continue our step, the 12th step, page 107. And of course, we'll read today's daily reflection and 24 hours a day. So with that, my friends, hope you all are doing well today. We have been given a brand new set of 24 hours. Yesterday's over, but we can learn from our mistakes, be grateful for everything that we've learned yesterday, and apply that to this set of 24 hours we've been given. And that's always a good thing. So with that, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. All right, my friends. So yesterday we talked about how in applying step 9, we have to be very careful about the people that might be involved. And every situation is a little unique, and it's always good to get a second opinion about making these direct amends. But we should try our best nonetheless to do this honestly. So we're on page 82. Perhaps there are some cases where the utmost frankness is demanded. No outsider can appraise such an intimate situation. It may be that both will decide that the way of good sense and loving kindness is to let bygones be bygones. Each might pray about it, having the other one's happiness uppermost in mind. Keep it always in sight that we're dealing with that most terrible human emotion, jealousy. Good generalship may decide that the problem may be attacked on the flank rather than risk a face-to-face combat. If we have no such complication, there's plenty we should do at home. Sometimes we hear an alcoholic say that the only thing he needs to do is to keep sober. Certainly he must keep sober, for there will be no home if he doesn't. But he is yet a long way from making good to the wife or parents whom for years he has so shockingly treated. Passing all understanding is the patience mothers and wives have had with alcoholics. Had this not been so, many of us would have had no homes today, would perhaps be dead. The alcoholic is like a tornado roaring his way through the lives of others. Hearts are broken. Sweet relationships are dead. Affections have been uprooted. Selfish and inconsiderate habits have kept the home in turmoil. We feel a man is unthinking when he says that sobriety is enough. He is like the farmer who came up out of the cyclone cellar to find his home ruined. To his wife he remarked, "Don't see anything the matter here, Ma. Ain't it grand that the wind stopped blowing?" At the 12 and 12, we're on step 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as the result of these steps, we try to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. And yesterday we talked about a spiritual awakening, so we're going to continue that thought on 107. He has been granted a gift, which amounts to a new state of consciousness and being. He has been set on a path which tells him that he is really going somewhere, that life is not a dead end, not something to be endured or mastered. In a very real sense, he has been transformed, because he has laid hold of a source of strength which, in one way or another, he had hitherto denied himself. He finds himself in possession of a degree of honesty, tolerance, unselfishness, peace of mind, and love of which he thought himself quite incapable. What he has received is a free gift, and yet usually, at least in some small part, he has made himself ready to receive it. AA's matter of making ready to receive this gift lies in the practice of the 12 steps in our program. So let's consider briefly what we have been trying to do up to this point. Step 1 showed us an amazing paradox. We found that we were totally unable to be rid of the alcohol obsession until we first admitted that we were powerless over it. In step 2, we saw that since we could not restore ourselves to sanity, some higher power must necessarily do so if we were to survive. Consequently, in step 3, we turned our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. For the time being, we who are atheist or agnostic discovered that our own group, or AA as a whole, would suffice as a higher power. Beginning with step 4, we commenced to search out the things in ourselves which had brought us to physical, moral, and spiritual bankruptcy. We made a searching and fearless moral inventory. Looking at step 5, we decided that an inventory taken alone wouldn't be enough. "24 hours a day, October 4th. AA thought for the day. Am I critical of other members of AA or the new prospects? Do I ever say anything about other members? I don't think they're sincere. I think they're bluffing, or I think they're taking a few drinks on the quiet. Do I realize that my doubtful and skeptical attitude is hurting those members, if only in my attitude toward them, which they cannot help sensing? Do I say about new prospects, they'll never make the program? Or do I say, they'll only last a few months? If I take this attitude, I am unconsciously hurting those prospects' chances. Is my attitude always constructive and never destructive? Meditation for the day. To be attracted toward God and a better life, you must be spirit-guided. There is wonderful illumination of thought given to those who are spirit-guided. To those who are material-guided, there is nothing in God or a finer life to appeal to them or to attract them. But to those who are spirit-guided, there is strength and peace and calm to be found in the communion with an unseen Lord. To those who believe in this God that they cannot see, but whose power they can feel, life has a meaning and purpose. They are children of the unseen Lord, and all human beings are their brothers and sisters. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may be spirit-guided. I pray that I may feel God's presence and power in my life. Daily Reflection, October 4th. A necessary pruning. We know that the pains of drinking had to come before sobriety, and emotional turmoil before serenity. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 94. I love spending time in my garden feeding and pruning my beautiful flowers. One day, as I was busily snipping away, a neighbor stopped by. She commented, "Oh, your plants are so beautiful. It seems such a shame to cut them back." I replied, "I know how you feel, but the excess must be removed so that they can grow stronger and healthier." Later, I thought that perhaps my plants feel pain. But God and I know it's part of the plan, and I've seen the results. I was quickly reminded of my precious AA program and how we all grow through pain. I asked God to prune me when it's time so I can grow. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading, and boy, oh boy, it's hard to pick one always. As I say, the hardest part of this show is picking one to talk about. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. First of all, the big book, talking about that tornado of years of drinking. And then finally, when you're sober, don't get me wrong, being sober is extremely important. Putting the bottle down is extremely important. I mean, that's step one. But we do have a lot of work ahead. And it's easy to look at all the destruction of that tornado, right? Of our drinking, our alcoholism, the people we hurt, the mistakes we made. if I look at all of it as a whole, it can be overwhelming to me, right? But if I'm that farmer, instead of looking at the entire land of destruction I see before me, I start picking up the trash, picking up the debris, one piece at a time, trusting that my higher power is going to give me the energy to do what I can, just one piece at a time. I've told this story many times. I was terrible at math as a kid, and I had one great math teacher that she would help me with algebraic equations. She would see that I'd look at the entire problem and go, I can't do this. Look at that. Look at the size of that thing. And she'd go, all right, Rob, well, don't worry about all this right now. She'd take an index card. She'd cover most of the equation up. She'd go, solve this part first. Well, I could do that. So I'd solve that one part. Then she'd slide the index card over a little bit. Okay, now this part. And then before long, the entire problem was solved, and it wasn't near as intimidating. It's kind of like cleaning up the debris. And it takes time. Don't get me wrong, it takes time. And we're going to make some mistakes along the way. And as the daily reflection says, sometimes we need that necessary pruning. And I used to think, pain is terrible. Why do we have to go through this? But the greatest lessons I've ever learned were through pain. Through stumbling once again. I have picked selfishness back up many, many times. In sobriety, I'm not saying before sobriety, I'm talking about during sobriety. I've picked up that pride, that lust, that ego, that self-will run riot. But then when I mess up or it catches up with me, and I catch myself, instead of beating myself up like I used to do, usually I go, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. I need to pray about this. And I hand it back over to my higher power. And I ask God to prune me, to chisel that area of my life out so that I can be a better use to others. Not that I would be glorified, but that my higher power would be glorified. So with that, my friends, I hope that rambling made some sense. I don't know. But thank you so much for listening. Please know, as always, I don't speak on behalf of AA or NA or Al-Anon. I am just a friend in this lifeboat of recovery, just a drunk, really grateful to be here today. And as I said a few days ago, for these last couple of months of the year, I would really love to hear from you. And I did receive an email yesterday, and I really appreciate that. If you ever want to share your experience, strength, and hope, our email is bigbookdaily@gmail.com, or you can always send us a voicemail. Let us know about your story. I'll still read the personal stories at the end of the month, but I'd also like to read some of your stories during the regular episodes, or whenever is most convenient for everybody. Of course, I'll preserve your anonymity, whatever it takes. But yeah, this is not about me. This is about the program, and this is about giving you all an outlet to share your experience, strength, and hope as well. So, as we're rounding up the last stretch here of the show, most likely, I don't know for sure yet, I'm still praying on that, I would love to make sure to give you all the opportunity to share if you'd like to. So yeah, would love to hear from you. But my friends, that's all we have time for today. I hope you have a great day, and if we were given another set of 24 hours, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.